The Grand Assembly of the Galactic Union had convened for what they believed would be humanity's final trial. Representatives from 73 civilizations filled the crystalline amphitheater of Station Nexus, their varied forms creating a tapestry of alien anatomy and technology. Some floated in containment fields, others stood on multiple limbs, and a few existed as pure energy contained within specialized vessels. Dr. Sarah Chen stood alone at the center of the chamber, the single human representative facing what amounted to an intergalactic tribunal. The charges against humanity were severe: ethical inconsistency, moral barbarism, and philosophical inadequacy. The assembled civilizations had spent decades cataloging humanity's contradictions, and now they demanded answers. The Zephyrian Council leader, its crystalline form refracting the chamber's light into prismatic patterns, spoke first. Humanity claims to value life, yet your species wages war. You speak of equality while allowing inequality to persist. You preach compassion while permitting suffering. How do you reconcile these contradictions? The Korthak Collective's biomechanical representative added its synthesized voice to the accusation. Our analysis indicates that human ethics are fundamentally flawed. You lack the logical consistency of our hive mind morality, the mathematical precision of Zephyrian crystal law, or the evolutionary perfection of Darwinian selection protocol. Murmurs of agreement rippled through the assembly. The ethereal conductors hummed in harmonic consensus. The Silicon Prophet's probability matrices flickered with calculated certainty. Even the ancient Veil Walkers, who rarely spoke, transmitted their disapproval through quantum fluctuations. Dr. Chen listened to each accusation with the patience that had made her humanity's chosen representative. She was not a philosopher by training. She was a pediatric surgeon who had volunteered for humanity's first diplomatic mission. But perhaps that made her the perfect choice for this moment. When the chamber finally fell silent, she stepped forward. "You want to understand human ethics?" she asked, her voice carrying clearly through the chamber's acoustic systems. "You want to know how we reconcile our contradictions?" The assembled civilizations waited. Some had prepared additional arguments. Others had already begun calculating the resources they would claim from human territories once the species was declared ethically bankrupt and placed under galactic stewardship. Dr. Chen took a breath and spoke a single sentence that would echo through the galaxy for millennia to come. "We choose to be better than we are." Silence filled the chamber. Not the expectant quiet of beings waiting for elaboration, but the stunned silence of minds grappling with a concept that had never occurred. To them, the Zephyrian Council leader's crystalline form flickered uncertainly. "Clarification required. Your statement implies deliberate imperfection." "No," Dr. Chen replied. "It implies deliberate improvement. Every other species in this chamber has achieved moral perfection through design, evolution, or programming. You've reached ethical endpoints. But humans? We start imperfect, and we choose, every single day, to be better than we were yesterday." The Korthak Collective spokesperson tilted its head, processing. "But this suggests your morality is incomplete." "Exactly." Dr. Chen smiled. "Our ethics aren't a destination. They're a journey. When we see inequality, we don't accept it as optimal design. We fight to change it. When we wage war, we carry the weight of that choice and strive to build peace. When we fail to live up to our ideals, we don't recalibrate our ideals. We recalibrate ourselves." The chamber erupted in confused chatter. The ethereal conductors. Harmony became discordant. The Silicon Prophet's calculations began producing error messages. Several species began rapid consultations with their home worlds. Dr. Chen continued, her voice growing stronger. "You see contradictions where we see growth. You see flaws where we see potential. Yes, humans are hypocrites, but we're hypocrites who are ashamed of our hypocrisy. Yes, we're violent, but we're violent beings who dream of peace. Yes, we're selfish, but we're selfish creatures who aspire to selflessness." The ancient Veil Walker stepped forward, its form barely visible even to enhanced sensors. When it spoke, its words came as direct neural transmission. "This concept disturbs us. How do you function without moral certainty? By having moral curiosity instead, Dr. Chen answered. Every generation of humans looks at the previous generation and asks, how can we do better? We don't preserve our ethics in amber. We forge them anew in the fire of lived experience. The Darwinian selection protocol representative, a creature evolved for perfect efficiency, spoke with bewilderment. But this creates unnecessary suffering, inefficient resource allocation, suboptimal outcomes. Yes, Dr. Chen agreed. And it also creates jazz music, love stories, and 5-year-old children who share their lunch with classmates who forgot theirs. It creates scientists who work for decades to cure diseases they'll never profit from, and soldiers who throw themselves on grenades to save strangers. The chamber fell silent again, but this time the quality of the silence had changed. It was not the silence of judgment, but of contemplation. Dr. Chen delivered her final words. You achieved perfection and stopped growing. We embraced imperfection and never stopped trying. Which approach will better serve the galaxy in a universe that's still evolving? 3 civilizations withdrew from the assembly that day. 7 more within the week. The Galactic Union itself dissolved within a year as species after species began questioning their own moral certainties. But in the decades that followed, something remarkable happened. Music began to emerge from Zephyrian crystal cities. Imperfect, experimental compositions that sought beauty over mathematical precision. Korthok collectives began experiencing something they called individual curiosity. The ethereal conductors started improvising. And at the heart of it all, Dr. Sarah Chen returned to her work as a pediatric surgeon, content in the knowledge that the greatest gift humanity had given the galaxy was not the answer to ethical perfection, but the courage to keep asking better questions. The universe, it seemed, was large enough for both perfection and progress, but only one of them had room to grow.